Welcome, race fans. Tonight, Top Fuel Racing takes to the track of Phoenix International Raceway for 155 laps, the New Year's Tango in the Desert. I am Joshua Medlock, one of your commentators for this evening. In the booth with me tonight, I have a new guy with MaxSpeedTV, KR Stolfus. How you doing tonight, KR?
Oh man, Josh, I'll tell you what, I'm excited to be here, excited to get this opportunity with MaxSpeedTV, and looking forward to wearing this new flag.
Pretty interesting races we have here on MaxSpeedTV, especially DW12s. We've got trucks, we've got Gen 6. I mean, they even do dirt. So, I mean, we do everything pretty much. Well, how about, since we got a couple minutes, about 7 minutes left of practice right now, why don't you go ahead and go run down through the top 10 in points real quick while they do their thing down on the track.
All right, well, as we watch them circle around here in practice, the top 10 in points, we got Michael Jeans, who's currently got 687 points. He is your points leader with Blackadder Motorsports. Second place, and not too terribly far behind him, but with some work to do, Scott Benson. He's got 604 points. That is with Rated R Racing. Nate Sifker, 585. He's sitting in third. Fourth place is Mark McFadden with 538. Paul Crumright rounds out your top five. He's got 536. So quite the battle for fourth place there, getting ready to shape up. Only 2 points between them, but we cannot count out Kevin J. O'Brien in sixth with 518. And Mark A. Walker with 517. So there's 4 cars there that any one of them could switch spots right in a hurry in one race in one lap. Matt Burkhart with 436 points sits 8th. He's running with Bandit Motorsports. Another Blackadder Motorsports will be Jake Fox. He's sitting 9th with 386. And then rounding out your top 10, last week's winner is Garrett Maines with 330. And he was able to win last week. He's got 3 wins on the season, but only sitting in 10th spot, but did gain 4 positions with his race win last week.
Yes, he did. I mean, that was an outstanding win by Garrett Maines last week at Twin Ring Motegi. That was Twin Ring, a different track for most of the racers out here, especially, in a DW12 that can easily hit speeds that 230, 220, 230 miles an hour. On bigger tracks, it's of course faster because of the draft. But they're coming down to the wire. At the of the end of the season here. They got 2 races left after tonight, don't they?
Yep, we got 3 races because we haven't got the green flag for this one. But tonight we're here in Phoenix International with a closed dog leg. Don't know if y'all noticed that. That's where we're at. Next week, Wednesday, January 10th, is a 65-minute race at Interlagos or Autodromo Jose Carlos. That's a good, fun track. If you don't have that track in iRacing, you need to get it. If you haven't turned laps there, it's a good track. It's a great track, and I enjoy turning laps there. And then we're going to wrap up the season Wednesday, January 17th, with the 5th annual championship race at Auto Club Speedway Oval Night. 150 laps. These guys are going to be tearing up California and setting it off into the sun.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks is Auto Club. I've always liked Auto Club. Of course, they've still, they've got to get through tonight first before they, worry about the races ahead of them. Of course, the guys that are, up in the points, they're still fighting for that championship. Michael Jean, Scott Brinson, and Nate Siefker mathematically is probably not going to be able to pass Michael Jeans, but anything can happen. I'm not going to put it out and say it can't, but anything can happen. Coming down to 4 minutes, we got about 4 minutes left of practice left, a few things to go over. 3-lap qualifying. This is a little different. I was going to throw this out here at the beginning. We'll go ahead and get it out real quick. 3-lap qualifying. It's something different that they've never done before. Instead of your 2 laps, they're doing 3.
It will throw an interesting twist in it. You can burn off some fuel. You can maybe get your tires a little bit warmer and turn a more solid lap on your 3rd one. I know me personally in this car, I do like to have as many laps as I can on it, trying to get into that qualifying mode, get my line right, because I tend to make a lot of mistakes when I drive this car.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you've got to know the DW12 and including the Pro Mazda. You've got to know those cars and how they turn. They actually have what you would call power steering. It makes them easier to turn, but you lose grip really, really fast. Tyler Chalk still holding on, the fastest in practice so far. He's running about a 20. His fastest is about a 20.064. He's being pretty consistent. So that's another thing, being consistent on your times. Because when it comes down to qualifying, you want to get the quickest time.
Qualifying does come down to being the fastest, but we have 155 laps here, so I highly doubt that we're going to see 1 leader throughout this entire event. So somebody from the back does have a lot of time. So if you do make a mistake, you can correct the ship from sinking, save the Titanic, if you will, and move on with life and maybe get a win.
Yeah, I mean that's right. You want to get that final flag. You want to get that checkered flag. All other laps behind you is you want those too. You want to lead the most laps. You want to get that pole position. You want to get the fastest pit time to get track position. But when it comes down to the end of the race, you want that checkered flag. You want to be across that line first.
One of the greatest things about drivers that we do not want anyone to know is that we literally will race for a teeny tiny piece of plastic or a piece of cloth with black and white checkers on it, and we have no other desire than to race for those options.
Well, exactly. A lot of people take iRacing, to a serious level, and for a lot of people, iRacing is their life. This is what they do. They do it on a daily basis, and they take it serious. It's a simulation of the real NASCAR. Like I said before in the past, you may not be able to get physically hurt on the track while racing, but it does hurt for you leading all the laps and come down to the end and you don't win. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
I have been in many races of that situation you just described, where you're leading the race, you're coming to take the checkered, and someone just manages to get a run on you coming out of turn 4, and that's it. You just get beat sometimes. Everything right, but just get beat.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. Oh, we got about 7 seconds left to go in practice here, folks. We will step away here real quick and play our national anthem, and
Checkered flag.
Come back, qualifying will be underway, so stay tuned, folks. We will be right back.
We take you down onto the track.
Checkered flag.
Ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ready, green, 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 green.
rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh
right, so is it single car qualifying? Yep, it sure is. All right.
By the dawn's early light.
Are we gonna
broadcast
any of the qualifying, or is the anthem gonna cover all of that?
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched. We're so
Okay. Don't forget to mention the Facebook page, liking this page and the Facebook and all that other
the
stuff.
rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Qualifying is underway. So far, Brad Truex, and I do not know why that keeps closing it down. Brad Truex on top of the board. This is single car qualifying. So one car is on the... everybody can be on the track at one time, but they're not on the track all together. So that kind of keeps the incidents from happening here in qualifying.
You know, I'm currently watching Paul Crumry as he starts his qualifying attempt, and he's kind of running right through the middle of 3 and 4 and then pulls it down on corner exit. He doesn't seem to be using a whole lot of the track here. It appears like these guys are going to have a lot of downforce to use tonight.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm a little concerned about here at Phoenix. You know, it's not really a big track. You know, how's the draft going to play in? How's the aero push going to play in? You know, what's the, when you get out in clean air, are you going to be able to flat-foot it all the way around without having to lift? You know, a lot of things are going to play in factor as this race progresses.
And you see Paul Crumry there as he got down underneath the yellow line on the dog leg, but did not go below the cones. So the cones there are outlined as far down as you can go, and if you get below those cones, you will suffer a time penalty.
Yes, yeah, you do not want to go below those cones. This is, like we said, a closed dog leg, so you have to pretty much stay on the track. You can squeeze by and get off on the high side of the cones. You cannot go below the cones. We may see a few cars decide to risk it and, kind of get as close to the cones as they can to get more of a push coming out and back onto the track. But as far as going completely off the track and onto that apron, you cannot do that. It will be completely off limits.
One of our top runners, our second place in points, Scott Brinson, has yet to turn a qualifying session. I got my eyes on him. He's just currently sitting at the end of pit road. I guess he's waiting for the timer to tick down some. Maybe make it a little more intense for everyone else before he goes out and steals pole position away from Brad Truex.
Yeah, a lot of them will set on the end of pit road, and they'll kind of let things go through, let people run their laps and everything. But you can grab the points, you grab the pole, and get that bonus point that you need. But what about that checkered flag point? You need that win point if that's going to help you cut into to Jeans' lead for Scott Brinson.
Scott is hoping for a maximum points race here. If he can get that, a maximum of 54 points to be gained by him, he's got to get it on pole and or start far enough back that he passes enough cars that he passes the most cars for the night. So which one's he going to do? As I see him now start to roll away from the pit lane.
Yes, he sure is. He is rolling onto the track in the number 14 CM Punk machine DW12. So we'll see what Scott actually brings in for his qualifying time. But for right now, the season for this year will end January 17th after they, of course, do their finish up this season. They got to get through this season first. They will start back February 7th. They will have full 2 weeks off. So they're going to have a big, quite a break between this season and the next season.
2 weeks off, catch your breath, maybe go out to dinner with the missus or mister. Hey, it's iRacing. Guys, girls can be whatever.
Exactly. What interesting race is going to be next week is going to a road course of Interlagos. I do not have that track. I don't have most road courses, as I am not a road guy. I do like watching some road course races, but as far as race them, I don't do much racing on them itself. But I hear Interlagos is a fun, decent road course to race on.
I have been at Interlagos here in iRacing, and I love it. It's one of the better road courses that iRacing has. As we're talking and chit-chatting, Scott Brinson does put his third best lap time, and that's going to put him ahead of Michael Jeans. Michael Jeans right now sitting in 10th spot for qualifying, so our points leader sitting in the middle of the field right now.
Yes, he sure is. And, of course, we have a new pole position guy. Gary Bauer has knocked Brad Truex off the pole, and it looks like everybody who's going to qualify has qualified. I do not see anybody else deciding that they're going to qualify. Well, there goes Brad again. Brad, I guess, is going to try another lap. Maybe.
He's already completed his 3 laps. He might just be out there spending this extra time getting in a few more practice laps.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it finally updated. So yeah, he's just gonna get some more laps in for make sure everything is to par, with the way he drives.
Well, I guess everything checks out for him. He just did 1 lap, pulled her in, called it good.
Yes, he sure did.
Well, I currently have times for 19 drivers, but we have a total of 22 drivers that took a practice lap.
Yeah, it looks like Michael D'Amico, Mark Robertson, Mark Reed, and Gabe Allen have chosen not to take a qualifying time. It might not be a bad idea for these guys. It's they know it's going to be a long race, not really grueling race, but doing 180, 190 miles an hour around the track. At roughly 20 seconds a lap, maybe a little faster, maybe a little slower for some. 155 laps, though, that's still quite a bit of laps to lay down. But if they can keep it clean, they'll knock this out in no time.
When your qualifying time is right around 20 seconds, your race time isn't going to be too far off. So, we're turning, let's just say for sake of math, 20-second lap times. 155 laps is going to click off really quick.
Yes, it sure is. Yes, it sure is.
Did you like what I said, for the sake of math, we're going to do this, and then I didn't do math?
And then you didn't do math.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
All right, well, that'll wrap up qualifying. Let's get them down on the grid here, folks. See exactly what happens and who has what position. It looks like Gary Bauer will hold on to the top spot on that pole position. Congratulations to Gary Bauer for grabbing the pole with a 23.24. Congratulations again for Gary. Brad Truex will start second with a 23.36 lap. Scott Brinson in third, starting third. Garrett Maines in fourth. Dustin Ping starting in fifth place. Carl Burke in sixth. Ronnie Osmer in seventh. Ty Stanley in eighth. Paul Crummer in ninth. And Michael Jeans will be starting 10th. KR?
Tyler Chalk will be 11th in the 07. Nate Sifker will be 12th. Mark McFadden 13th. 14th will be Chris Walker. 15th of Jay Anderson in the 06 car. Robert Dudley starts 16th. 17th will be Kevin O'Brien. Kerry Cleaver will be 18th. And 19th, the final car to take a qualifying time with a 20.803 will be Matt Burkhart. And then the rest of them will be 20th of Mark Robertson. Well, you know what? I don't know how iRacing's going to set these guys that didn't turn a time. So,
they got Mark Reed going to start 20th, Mark Robertson in 21st, Gabe Allen in 22nd, and Michael D'Amico will round out the field in 23rd. So that's kind of how iRacing does that. See, I don't know how they do that either, but that's the way iRacing said. There you go. You know, that's the way I'm going to put them.
Yeah. My grid button said something completely different than what you had, and then it was labeled completely different than that too. So I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes. I cannot
tell. Caution somewhere. Caution.
You know, I'm an automotive technician by trade. If I can't hit it with a hammer, I probably shouldn't be doing it.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Well, all right, guys, here they go. They are pulling out onto the track. As they make their way around the track here, it'll be a pace lap, and then they'll get this race underway. Kind of get down here to the view closer to these guys. Pace car lights. The lights are off on the pace car, so they will be going green. Pace car is in.
Ready, green.
Green flag racing here at Phoenix. The number 27 wasted no time.
Man, they're all starting to get single file here, trying to get in on that draft early. But, man, you got to remember, that's some dirty air once you get in behind a car.
Yes, it is.
The dirtier the air, you're going to start burning your tires up.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And, I'm trying to find the best camera angle as we can. And, it's really hard to find a good camera angle. Of course, here's a good view of the massive amount of cars that are out here right now. Gary Bauer still holding it strong up there in first place. Garrett Maines running in second now. There we go. I get the driver up there so everybody can see exactly who I'm on. Garrett Maines started fourth, and he is already up to second place.
You know, these guys have kind of gotten a little single file here. Got a little bit of room, but back in the back of the pack, we got a few that are trying to go too wide still. Looks like Ronnie Osmer on the outside here trying to get around the 24 of Dustin Ping. Making it work as they briefly go 3 wide.
Yes, they do. And, man, that's one thing you do not want to do here is really go 3 wide for too long as we zoom in on Ronnie Osmer in the number 44 machine. Running the 88 Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, actually. you know, he started
We got
7.
one crashing.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Oh, who is that?
Looks like the 52 of or 49 of Robert Dudley.
49.
And I believe the 52 of Gabe Allen might have got a little contact there with
All right,
it.
well, let's go back and see exactly what happened to Robert Dudley real quick. See, they're coming on the straight. See if I can. That is not a good camera angle. See exactly what happened here, fellas. Really can't see that. Alright, well, as they come back on the where the dog leg is. Oh, yeah, I see exactly happened right there. Yeah, let's looks like Robert Dudley and who is that? Tyler Chalk connected, and it sent them both on the inside wall. So as they get lined back up here, back up front, Gary Bauer still holding on up here in the first place. Boy, what a tough break, man. Already caution, and you know, they've pulled 8 laps.
We had about 7-8 cars come down for pit road. A few of them were involved in that incident. We do have one quick repair in this series, but I do believe also a couple cars came down and took some tires.
I'm sure you will probably see several people come down and take tires as we get a blimp view of Gary Bauer right along with him.
Hey, wake up.
So Gary Bauer is our leader. I believe he's been out front for every single circuit around the track time. And our first caution came out on lap 7. So if you had made a bet on when the first caution was going to come out, what lap that was, score it as lap 7. I'll tell you what, we're probably not done seeing yellows, but there was a lot of action, hot and heavy, in these opening 7 laps.
Yes, there was. You know, we are, you know, they've got a lot of laps left to go here. You know, 9 laps down. You know, they don't really know the feel yet so far of the track. So we'll kind of give it time and see. You know what they as the race goes on and it progresses of you know, maybe get an interview in later on.
Hey, wake up.
Now, will they be starting single file or double file for tonight's race?
Pardon?
It looks like they're going to be starting double file. If I would have just waited a few seconds, I would have answered my own question.
yeah, they're going to be starting double file. Why don't you go ahead and get them going? I've got some camera issues that I got to deal with here, folks. Sorry about that. I'm going to take care of that real quick. And
all right, well, while he works on that, I'll do my best to describe it for you. Gary Bauer's in the 27 car, tucked in nicely behind the pace car, bringing the field around. Under control, lights are out on that Porsche pace car, pulled off, and now everyone's going to start to accelerate. Gary Bowers picks up the throttle, and down the front stretch he goes, getting half a car length on Garrett Maines, but Garrett Maines trying to tuck in it, going into turn 1, doing all he can to close the gap and maybe get some breath of fresh air and lead his first laps tonight.
Ready, green, 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 green.
Gary Bauer now fighting off as Garrett Maines looking to the inside. He's got his wheels under him. We might have our first pass for the lead as Gary is on the outside, going to lose 2 spots now. Garrett Maines slides into first, but the 14 of Scott Brinson might have something to say about who's leading this lap. Scott Brinson tucks under Garrett Maines. and will lead this first lap. Gary Bauer in one lap went from first to fourth. And wow, Scott Brinson with a power move went from third to first. And the leaders are not done tussling yet. You could throw a blanket over the first 6 cars.
Yes, they are. I mean, even up front, Gary Maines is now again looking onto the inside.
Caution somewhere, caution.
Chris Walker in the 99, heavy contact, end over
Oh.
end, collecting more cars.
Well, let's go back and see exactly what happened. I am so glad I got our TVO up before that happened, because now we can actually catch it. All right, so they are coming.
Hey, wake up.
They are coming on to the front stretch here. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like the number 27 of Gary Bauer was right behind the number 99 of Chris Walker. Might have been a little bit of contact, or might have been some net coating there. I'm not exactly sure. That sent Chris into the wall as these guys come around, and oh, the green machine of the number 21 of Mark Robinson slammed into Chris Walker. Had nowhere to really go, and that sent them both flying. So yeah, it's I can sense some resets going to be used here tonight.
Good thing they all get at least one reset. This being our second caution, if the same guys got caught up in the caution that were in the first one, they're just going to have to hammer out whatever damage they get, though.
Yes, they sure are.
So Scott Brinson, with his power move, going from third to first. Garrett Maines thought for sure he was going to lead the first lap that was not led by Gary Bauer, and yet Scott Brinson comes out of nowhere essentially and denies Garrett Maines that point. So Scott now does have a point for leading a lap. That's going to get tacked into his points total. That's going to cut into Michael Jeans, who's sitting in third, but has yet to lead a lap.
Yes, it is. It's still early yet. We've got some battles going up front. Scott Brinson currently right now in the lead. Michael Jeans, who is your current points standings, in first. He, between him and Scott, they just want to finish ahead of each other. They don't, necessarily want to. They want to race it out. They want the best one to win. And, I can see Scott Brinson and Michael Jeans, and I can't count out Garrett Maines. These three guys going to be fighting for the win here tonight. But still a long race, so anything can really go.
It sure can, as we're working lap 17 now, counted as lap 18 of 155.
Yep, and the pace car lights are off, so we will be going back green next time by as they get double file again for the
Restart?
second caution. I believe it is. It says one, but that's because I had to restart our TVO.
Yep, we're on our second caution.
Yep. So they get
Just
lined
trying to
up.
remember to add one to that little stat you see there.
Yes, sir. I've got to learn how to load cameras, apparently. I'm still learning that. So, should be a great restart here. So, Scott Brinson on the inside, Garrett Maines on the outside. Starting 1-2. Michael Jeans back behind Scott Brinson. And the number 44 of Ronnie Osmer on the outside. So, Going to be interesting.
Ready, green, 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 green.
We are green flag racing. Scott and Garrett both hammer the gas at the same time. And here we are again, underway at Phoenix.
Scott Brinson, with the benefit of starting on the inside there, is going to make turn one work. Garrett Maines had to
Caution
work
somewhere.
a little bit harder.
Caution.
We got another yellow again. Looks like Dustin Ping in the 24 could be in trouble. We got another one. I believe it's Mark Robertson in the 21 machine going end over end.
Okay, we'll go on to, we'll go over to Dustin Payne. We'll see exactly what happened to Dustin real quick. Maybe catch it. See, Dustin was coming out from back onto the front stretch. Oh! Let's see here. Looked like there was a car already flipping.
That'd been the 21 of Mark Robertson.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he is flipping. Yeah, he sure is.
That's our third caution tonight. For those of you keeping track.
Man, oh man, oh man. 21 laps down, 3 cautions so far. You know, they really haven't had a lot of green flag runs under their belt to actually tell how the track and the cars reacting to each other. So, you know, I really don't know if we should, you know, interview anybody right now or kind of wait and see what happens.
I tell you what, let's give them one more caution. Although, however, I suspect that the next caution that comes out, they're all going to come down to pit road. But we'll probably pull up somebody that doesn't stop in pit road and ask them why they didn't stop.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. Yeah, you know, 22 laps down, you know, racking up the cautions already. Unfortunately, you know, that is not what Scott Brinson and these guys wanted. You know, I'm sure they're all frustrated with, you know, back-to-back cautions just like that. But you know, it's racing on a track that is as tight quarters as it is. It's going to happen.
We do have Mark Robertson has loaded up the car and headed on out.
Yeah, he wants to get an early start at Interlagos. I imagine. I think he's probably done with Phoenix. Michael D'Amico and Mark Reed also have taken their cars behind the wall. I believe Michael D'Amico and Mark Reed, it looks like, didn't even start the race.
I do not have score sheets for them, so neither one did start the race. Michael D'Amico and Mark Reed did both turn laps in practice, but not in qualifying, so maybe they just didn't feel it tonight and something came up. Maybe they got locked in the bathroom stalls. Who knows?
Who knows? All righty, folks. Well,
somebody call the police. Send them over there.
Yeah, we're having some iRacing issues again. I've seen that that kind of blipped out a little bit, but looks like they're 2x2 again. Pace cars, the lights are out on the pace car. They're going back green. Get them going.
Scott Brinson's going to bring them down one more time. Our fourth restart tonight. Third restart, 4 overall. I do math well.
Ready, green, 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 green.
The green flag is out as Scott Brinson and Garrett Maines side by side diving off into turn 1, but that inside line in turn 1 is just going to edge it out as the 08 of Michael Jeans is working on Garrett Maines, now going to slide into second spot here.
Rode along with Scott Brinson there for a moment as he went around a couple of corners as the battle was continuously going on behind him between Michael Jeans and Garrett Maines. And of course, putting his businesses in there, back in there's the number 44 of Ronnie Osmer, who is currently running in 4th, who started 7th. So he's up here in the picture. Carl Burke started 6th, currently running in the 5th spot. Still a battle between them two guys up front. Man, it's close. I'm glad. I hope they know each other are there, because this might not turn out very pretty.
You know, Gary Boyer in the 27 machine, our pole sitter, who led the opening set of laps, has dropped all the way back into 12th spot.
Yes, he is. You know, he's got cars behind him. Kevin O'Brien.
Caution somewhere.
Another
Caution.
caution.
Looks like Carl Burke in the 53 machine is upside down on the dog leg.
Oh, well, let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Carl. All right. Let's see exactly what happened to Carl real quick. Carl comes around. He's in the number 53 machine. He's running right behind the number 44 of Ronnie Osmer, I believe, right here. Yes. And, oh, that looked like netcode there. Oh, man, that looked like a bunch of netcode. His car snapped, and it just went in circles. And the number, looks like the number 18 of, was that the number 18? It looked like the number 18 got into Carl, had nowhere to go. Was that the number 8?
Number 8 is Paul Crumry. I don't see a number
Okay.
18 scored.
Yep, that was the
but I do
number
see a
8.
number 8.
Yep, that was the number 8 of Paul Crumry, who got into Carl Burke and sent Paul right into the wall. Paul had nowhere to go. So, it's a tough break for these guys. So, man, it's starting early, and they haven't even reached lap 50. And we're already in 4 cautions?
This should be number 4. And I'll tell you what, these guys are making me want to go get a beer real quick.
Well, I'm sure we're going to have some people probably going to come down pit road. Maybe we can get a word in with somebody and talk about what not to talk about, because it just seems like cautions are brewing cautions. So we'll see what these guys do real quick, and maybe get somebody. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get somebody up here real quick. I'm going to pick up Mr. Paul Crumry. Paul Crumry, this is Joshua Medlock in the booth, man. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Paul, man, you had nowhere to go on that last incident, bud. What happened? What was your point of view on that, bud?
Well, it happened so fast, I don't even think I had a point of view other than there was a car in front of me in like a split second, so I didn't really even get a chance to brake. So I think somebody checked up or something and kind of chain reactioned, and then ended up hitting a wall. And I don't know how bad my front end is, but it's needing some repairs. But looks like I didn't get out of the pits here in time. But yeah, it was pretty crazy up front there. I was just about ready to start backing off, and yeah, just got caught up in there.
Well, did you have to use your reset on that, or do you still have it?
Oh, I've still got the reset. I want to see if I can't get some repairs. Maybe save that reset for later on.
All right, Paul. Well, man, good luck. And, you know, cautions are coming out flaring tonight. You know, it started out okay, and then all of a sudden it just, you know, it's caution and caution. But I'm sure y'all get it cleaned up down there. And good luck, Paul.
All right, thanks, buddy. I'll be up back front here shortly.
All right, Paul. We will catch you later, man.
Thanks, Josh.
Uh-huh.
User was moved.
Paul
out of your
Crumry,
channel.
one of the ones that got caught up in that last incident, man, just had nowhere to go. I mean, well, what else can you do in a situation like that? But, excuse me, folks. Up, pace. The lights are out on the pace car. We will be going back green next time by. So I will let KR. I'll let you do the honors, bud. We'll take turns on this. I don't think KR's there. Well, I'll get him going then. How about that? All right. Scott Brinson going to take the inside. Michael Jean's going to be riding on the outside. Garrett Maines on the inside. Going to be starting behind Scott Brinson. Brad Truex will be starting behind in fourth. And Tyler Chalk will be starting fifth. So, see if we can get it lined out here, guys. Come on, get some green flag runs in. This is going to be interesting. We're ready for it. Get down here, a little better view of the pace car as it dives in.
You know, I had to go get a new pin.
Ready, green.
Slash marks for the cautions.
Ah, I see. Well, we are green flag racing here again at Phoenix. Scott Brinson is pulling away, but Garrett Maines and Michael Jeans are not going far.
You know, once again, that inside lane has proven to be the fastest going into turn 1. Garrett Maines lost second spot because of it, but now he's gained it right back because of the restart.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. You know, and these guys up front right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, they race around each other all the time. They know how to race around each other. Incidents do happen, and they know it. But you know, it is what it is when it comes to racing. You know, these guys are pushing, what, 185, 190, close to 190 miles an hour in some portions of the track. And I'm sure at one point or another, they are looking at this as just keep it clean. Let's run some clean green laps. Then, you know, once we get some knocked down, you know, then we can be a little more aggressive. But, you know, they're at 4 cautions so far. If they kept that up, you know, well, there ain't no telling how many cautions they would have had. But hopefully they get it cleaned up.
You know, one of the things about the DW12 that kind of causes so many cautions is everyone gets real confident in this car that you can run an inch or 2 off of each other, and they forget that you really can't do that for 155 laps.
Yeah, that's true. You know, we haven't been
Caution somewhere. Caution.
much, and we have another caution.
It looks like the 06 of Jay Anderson on the
Yep.
roof of his car on the front stretch.
Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Jay. Jay Anderson in the number 6. Yeah, yep, there he is. Racing around the number 2. See if I can get a better angle. All right, racing around the number 2 and the number 44. Oh man, it looked like they might have touched a little bit. Oh, the 44 got into the wall and spun the number 6, and the 2 got in there. Wow. Nate Seifker goes flying over the pit wall into the pit stall and into, well, where the pit crew would be. I am so glad this ain't real, because we would have had a bunch of people hurt in that accident.
Man, that you ain't lying. It's a good thing ain't nobody there in real life, because that was bad.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Oh, all right. Well, let's see exactly what these guys decide to do, if they're going to pit or not. I am trying to do the camera angles the best way I can. I have no crank it up cam for Phoenix, as I am still trying to learn the whole camera thing, guys. So as soon as we can get that all figured out, we'll be good to go. Michael Jeans has led his first lap, so he will grab a valuable bonus point and extend the lead by, well, 1 point at least on Scott Brinson.
Yeah, so Scott Brinson's lap lead is now essentially canceled out by Michael Jeans leading the lap. So, you know, Michael has done his part so far to maintain the points lead. Now it's really going to come down to who can lead the most laps. And also, don't forget, Michael Jeans did start in 10th place. So he has a chance at being the car that passes the most. Although I will say Gabe Allen started 21st and he's currently scored an 8th. So we'll take it as it comes.
Yes, we will. You know, a guy that I don't talk to much back here in the back of the school car, Ty Stanley. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up real quick. We're going to have a chat with him.
User was moved to your channel.
Ty Stanley, this is Joshua in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ty, man. Well, tough racing out there so far. I mean, the cautions are starting to rack up. As we know, cautions breed cautions. What's the racing out there like for you? Everybody just being aggressive, or what's going on?
Yeah, you kind of have to be right now. This setup, you can basically hold it full throttle in the pack for about 5 laps before you have to start checking up and getting too tight. And yeah, it's a little bit of aggressive driving, and we just got to get it strung out a little bit, and everything will be fine. But yeah, so far great racing, I think.
Are you hoping to get 25, 30 green flag at least laps in before another caution comes out? I mean, it seems like you'll get started and then boom, another caution.
Yeah, I think if we can get past that 5 to 10 lap, maybe even a 15 lap threshold, this thing will go green for a long time until the car just gets tight on its own. Yeah, I'm hoping for a long green flag run. I wouldn't mind it going green to the end. We know how much fuel we need to get, and just all about getting to those points.
Yes, sir, Ty. Well, I'll see y'all are getting double file real quick. Going to get started back, so I will let you go back down there, and good luck, man.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alrighty, as they get 2x2 here, going to get started again. Lap 41 on 42, they'll get the green. So, pace car dives in. Michael Jeans on the inside, holding them as long as
Ready,
he can.
green.
And he's on the gas. He got a good jump in front of everybody, but how long is that going to last for Michael?
You know, on this car, the draft is such a big deal. I think he was hoping to try and break the draft. I will untie my tongue here in a second. If he can get out far enough that the draft is broken, you might see him start to pull away from the field.
Well, clean air is a key. You know, you want as much clean air as you possibly can. As back here in the back, there were almost 3 wide back here with Tyler Chalk, Mark McFadden, and Ty Stanley, who we just got done interviewing. And there's a battle up front going on between Garrett Maines and
Gary Boyer and Garrett Maines coming out of turn 4, but almost made contact. Fortunately, they both split different directions and made it work.
Yeah, it looked like they were kind of dooring each other a little bit. You know, not wanting to really spin each other out, but hey, I'm down here. You know, don't come down. But boy, they're really fighting, and you know, Michael Jeans, he's led 7 laps so far. Garrett Maines has led 6. Gary Bauer 10. You got to go all the way back here to 7th now with Scott Brinson, who's led 21 laps so far. I hate saying this, but most of these laps that's been led by these people is probably under caution, because they really haven't had as much green flag runs as they wanted to. Hopefully they can get it lined out and get some runs in, get some tire wear down, get some more rubber down on the track, and maybe finish this thing out green.
I highly doubt we're going to finish this thing out green, but I tell you what, the racing that's going to happen as these tires wear out is going to be pretty hairy.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, they will be coming to 49 to go. 49 to go. They'll be coming to lap 49. Sorry, and they're still not even halfway done with the race. So you know, let's kind of hope they can get this all lined out. And get some green flag runs in, because I'm sure that's what these guys want.
Yeah, green flag running, it really is what keeps you coming back to this league race after race. But I'll tell you what, Gary Boyer and Garrett Maines have not figured out who's going to run in second place. These two have swapped the spot lap after lap, almost corner for corner.
Yeah, and that has allowed Tyler Chalk, who started back in 11th place, to catch them, and now he's putting his business into theirs, and you know, he wants a piece of it. He's wanting to lead a couple laps, and maybe win.
You know what? And not too far behind them is Scott Brinson. Scott Brinson gave up the lead, pitted for fresh tires, and looks to try to be capitalizing on that. Michael Jeans, I don't believe he's pitted yet, so he would be out there on old tires. But he's got that fresh air, that clean air, And he is pulling away.
Yes, he is. He has gained a 1.3 second gap on Gary Bauer, and Gary Bauer has only got a 0.5 of a second gap on Garrett Maines.
And as you mentioned that, Garrett Maines falls to the clutches of Tyler Chalk.
Yes, he sure does. And it looks like we've got somebody coming down pit road. I believe that is
Matt Burkhart.
Matt Burkhart. Yes, it is. Deciding he's going to take a stroll into the pit stop. But I would like to give a big thank you to Jason Allison, who does all of the graphics for MaxSpeedTV. He does a fantastic job out there. That's one thing I wanted to do tonight. I have not done that since I started helping Rudy. So thank you, Jason, for all you do, putting your time in for the overlays. They are fantastic. I don't think I could find anybody else to do them as good as he does. So if anybody needs overlays, Jason Allison over at iBog, he's the man to talk to.
Very appreciative of all the work that he does for that. By the way, I watched the pit stop of Matt Burkhart, and it looked funny. His car looked funny on the right side, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, apparently he got into the wall. He did use a fast repair. He's back out on track, turning laps. Completely fresh car now.
Yep, as we've been sitting here talking, Scott Brinson has...
Caution somewhere, caution.
We have a caution. Did you see where that
Looks
was?
like Jay Anderson in the 06.
All right, well, we'll go back and take a look and see what happened to Jay. All right, well, as he's coming around, it looks like onto the front stretch. Looks like he does have some damage, not a whole lot, but some. And he's not coming on the tray over. Oh, and he slams the wall. I guess it was a miscalculation of where that wall was, and he slams it, sends him spinning into the dogleg area. See if maybe we can speed that up a little bit. And he does a fantastic job of keeping it on that inside wall, but he does have some heavy damage on that number 6 machine down there. And oh man, damage on those side pods. That is not a good thing.
Jay Anderson was already scored a few laps down. Now count him as 3 laps down as he is pulled into the pits. And I don't know if he's going to have a fast repair. And I don't think he did, as I just see him pushed it behind the wall and exit the track.
Yes. Yes, he sure did. I think Jay said, you know what, I've had enough. I'm gonna just wait until Interlagos and maybe try it there. You know, for a lot of these guys, they get damage, they use the reset early, and then they get more damage. And of course, you know, what else can you do but just step back and get it fixed? But Mark McFadden will lead his first lap. He is now coming down pit road along with Kevin O'Brien. And it looks like... who is that back here in the back? Oh, I do not know who that was. All right. Well, that'll give the first place back up to Michael Jeans, I believe. Yes. Yes, it will. Michael Jeans, Chris Walker, and I believe Matt Burkhart is right now in front of Michael, so they'll get the iRacing wave by the pace car. So the start of the season of this season, Mark McFadden put on $20 for the line of the driver who completes the most laps at the end of the season. Most of the season, though, the battle was between Scott Brinson and Michael Jeans. But Mark McFadden somehow has passed them both and is now in first place coming to the night in the completing the most laps, not the most laps led. So, you know, I was talking to Mark earlier about that, and he was even shocked that he even caught him.
You know, Mark McFadden coming into tonight had 1,929 laps participated, and our points leader, Michael Jeans and Scott Brinson, both really close to each other at 1852 and 1860. So Mark McFadden pulled one over their eyes for that little award. If he can manage to continue where he's at, he might walk away with something nice.
Yes, probably could. That actually was put in by the team of Mark McFadden. So, well, lights are off. They'll be going green this time by. Get them going.
All right, Michael Jeans on the lap.
Ready, green.
Gets a good jump. He's looking to get all of the lead back that he had before that yellow came out. Meanwhile, first and second, into turn one, second and third of Gary Bauer and Ronnie Osmer side by side, but figure it out through the dog leg. Score Gary Bauer in the second spot right now.
Yep, and you know, Ronnie Osmer, he started back in 7th, and you know, he's pushing his way up front. He's wanting to lead some laps. He has not led any today. Neither has Ty Stanley, who is currently behind him. They have not led any laps. So, you know, they're wanting to really get some laps led. You know, let's ride along with one of these guys back here in the back. You know, we'll ride along with Kevin O'Brien real quick in the cockpit view. Well, you know, there's a lot of cars right now in front of Kevin. So we're going to actually see exactly what Kevin is looking at as he's driving this DW12 at 178 miles an hour coming back onto the front stretch. Almost 180 going into the corner. And, man, he's trying to keep it as low as he possibly can, and of course he drops it below the yellow line, but still stays on this side of the cone. Man, it's rough racing out there here at Phoenix.
Not a lot of room with this many cars around Kevin. You know, he's just got to find some line, some spot where there isn't a car, get some fresh air on his nose, and get some downforce to that car and maybe make something happen. But when you got cars high, low, middle, all around you, it makes it real hard. You got to start working that throttle.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You know, you do not want to get into the back of somebody because you will come up onto the back of them pretty quickly as we go back to a blend view to get a wide range of the cars out on the track. As you see, Michael Jeans just now passing the line. On lap 67, you know, he's led 27 laps now, so he has surpassed Scott Brinson so far on the most laps led. Race is not over yet by any means, as these guys up front are still battling. Excuse me, you know, they're kind of getting not spread out per se, because there's not a big gap between Michael Jeans and Ronnie Osmer. I mean, it's changing between not even a second to or 0.1 of a second. Michael Jeans just barely leads that lap from Ronnie Osmer.
Scott Brinson looking to the inside of Gary Bauer. They're going into 3, or through the dog leg, sorry. Now they're going into 3. Score him in the 3rd. Scott Brinson doing all he can to get back up front. He wants that lead back. He wants to lead the most points. He wants to lead the most laps to get points. And he has got to get there in a hurry. And with as many cautions as we're having, you know, if you can get up front, you're going to get some easy laps led.
I'm sure he wants to have the most points, but I'm sure he wants the laps led mostly right now. I can totally understand that. You know, points, laps, I mean, they all will equal out to the points. So what Scott needs to do is just right now just be patient. 71 of 155 laps.
Back in the pack, Paul Crumry in the 8th, And the 8 car is sitting 10th, running a steady race. He's currently sitting 5th in the points coming into the night. And that's what you do when you end up 5th in points. You just run steady laps, consistent laps, and you find a little spot to just log some laps. As I'm looking at the cars around him, he's got nobody real close to him, either in front of him or behind him. He's just kind of find a little spot to run and log some laps.
Yes, he sure is. And, of course, I went back into the field a few ways, and Brad Truex, who started second, currently running in 9th. You know, he's back here in the back. Of course, iRacing's having issues again. That's cutting out on me. But Brad Truex is just kind of just playing it safe. We'll come down on the view of the field here. He is running in front or behind Kevin O'Brien. He is currently Paul Crumrod just decided to pass Brad Truex. So you know there are people changing positions. Probably not like what you would see on a shorter track, but these are DW12s. You've got to make the determination of, well, I'm going to pass here. If I don't pass here, where am I going to pass?
The DW12 here at Phoenix, one of my favorite combos, the Dallara Challenge, is a great race here in iRacing. No points, no penalties. You just go out, you put the hammer down and hope for the best. And, you can really develop some skills. And that's on the old Phoenix. This is the new Phoenix that we're running on tonight. Actually, finding somewhere to pass somebody, the straightaways come and go in a hurry. So you've got to plan your pass a lap in advance and figure out where you're faster than someone else and make it work on that lap.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You may be faster on the low side than another vehicle. You may be slower on the high side, faster on the low side, or your fastest speed may be in the center of the track. You've got to find that sweet spot for your car because it's different for everybody. Especially, a lot of people say, well, if you get behind somebody, ain't you going to be slower or faster? Well, super speedways, you really pick up the draft of the car in front of you, or the cars, I should say, in front of you. So you're going to get more speed, and you're going to keep up with the car in front of you. But once you lose the draft, it's, pretty much over. Here at Phoenix, though, in the DW12, by the time you hit the corner, you've got to really back off so you don't hit the car in front of you.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you slow up a little bit for the corners here for this car as the tires wear out, as everything wears out, burns off, whatever you want to call it. You start backing your corners up, and once you have to lift to get around this track, it's whoever can get into the throttle the quickest is going to end up being the fastest. And so to do that, you tend to have to back your corners up, meaning you got to lift before the next guy. And that allows you to get back into the throttle that much sooner than him and carries more speed down the straightaway.
You're right on that, KR. And of course, as we see now, Scott Brinson has moved himself back into second place. He is closing in on Michael Jeans with a 0.4 of a second gap between them two guys.
Garrett Main's in trouble here. Hold on 1 second. Garrett Main's all the way back in the 8th spot. Almost got rear-ended by Kevin O'Brien and Ty Stanley. Don't know what happened to Garrett, but I know he was running up front, and as I was watching the back runners here, I just happened to see Garrett Maines.
Oh, man. Well, looks like them guys got it straightened out. They know where each other are probably now, hopefully. So, no caution. They got it straightened out beforehand, but it looks like Garrett Maines is going to look onto the inside of Tyler Chalk, and it is so hard to pass here at Phoenix. You've got to get that right run to successfully make the pass without wrecking you or the car beside you, behind you, or in some instances in front of you.
Yeah, I thought we were about ready to see a wreck as I was watching Garrett Maines try to gather the car up. I'm assuming he scrubbed some speed off somewhere, got shoved out of position, had to get way out of the throttle, lost all kinds of momentum. But now that he has gotten his car gathered up, he has gotten in front of the pack of the cars where he ended up, and now looks to work his way back to the front.
Yes, he has, and we are past the halfway point, folks. So half the race down. This is a great green flag run.
Caution somewhere, caution.
And as soon as I say that, there is a caution.
Not really sure who had the issue there.
Looks like Ty Stanley. We'll go back and take a look at Ty Stanley, see what happened to him.
For sure, his car is all torn up as I get a chance to look at it.
Ty Stanley coming back onto the front stretch in the Skoal machine. He's got the number 69 behind him of Kerry Cleaver. And I'm going to put it in slow motion here so maybe I can get a good view of what happened. Ty is on the outside. Kerry Cleaver is on the inside. And it looks like Ty, I mean, he's running clean. Oh, it looks like the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver moved up into the number... Yep, it moved up into Ty Stanley, which sent them both spinning. Heavy damage on Ty Stanley's machine. Kerry Cleaver also has some heavy damage. As you can see, everybody, he's got some heavy side damage, front damage. I mean, he glitched into him. I'm not for sure if there was some net coating there or what happened. But, you know, I'm not the admin. I'm sure they'll go back and take a look and see exactly what happened. But that's why this caution came out.
While under this caution, Chris Walker pushed his car behind the wall and looks like he might be done for the night.
Yes, sir, you are correct. Chris Walker, Jay Anderson, Carl Burke, Mark Robertson, Michael D'Amico, and Mark Reed. Of course, two of those guys did not even start the race. Tough break for these guys. You know, Chris Walker had a bad week last week, had some issues with his headset, the Oculus Rift. He is our Oculus Rift driver, so we like to talk to him about how it feels for him, you know. But as we see some of these guys coming down pit road, Kevin O'Brien, that'll give the lead back up to Michael Jean. So some of these guys pitting, some of them not. Some of them going to stay out and maybe get a few more laps in. I'm going to see if maybe we can get somebody up here to interview. You want to interview somebody?
You know what? Let's go ahead and grab... Wow, heck, man, you put me on the spot. I was not prepared for this. I didn't study. I was looking elsewhere. All right, what do I got? Kevin O'Brien. Let's pull him up.
Kevin O'Brien. All right, well,
Yeah.
we'll pull Kevin up here. So I'll pull him up here and take it away, man.
Kevin, you got your ears on?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Congratulations on leading some laps here.
Thanks. Every single bonus point I can get now would be perfect.
I see you started 17th. You're now leading the race. Tell us a little bit about your fight so far to get there.
Well, I'm to the back of the field now. I've just pitted, but so far I'm getting caught up in traffic. But the second I get past somebody, I'm going for the win tonight. If I can get back up to the top 5, yes, I'll be going for the win. But some of this traffic now has just been holding me up. So far the setup's good. The track seems very fast. And if I get a chance to go for the win, like I said, I'm going for it.
All right, well, good luck, man. Keep your nose clean and just keep running solid laps. And you were working your way to the front. Hope to see you up there again.
Yeah, give it about 30. I'm going to be back up there again.
Thanks, Kevin, man.
Catches.
All right, yeah. I put you on the spot, man. Well, pace car is in. So they're going
Ready, green.
Jeans on the gas, and Scott Brinson is dropping it. Well, he thought about dropping it low. He finally dropped it low to get in front of Ronnie Osmer. But Ronnie is pushing his way, trying to push his way back up front, too.
Ronnie Osmer has been running solidly in the top 5 most of this race. Could be a threat to win this if he can keep his nose clean. He just might pull it off.
Yes, you are right, you know, and as they battle up here at front, they're pushing Michael Jean to the outside. And that leaves the door open for the number 44 of Ronnie Osmer, who looks like will take that position away from Michael Jeans. Well, he hasn't done it yet, but he's sure as heck trying.
He's trying. Speaking of trying, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube page here at MaxSpeedTV, and also find us on Facebook, MaxSpeedTV. Hey, why not? What's the worst that could happen?
Now that would be MaxSpeedTV.com / Facebook.com/MaxSpeedTV. The website is MaxSpeedTV.com. So yeah, I mean we're growing here at MaxSpeedTV. Of course, I'm still getting familiar with everything. KR, you're new to the channel here, but doing a fantastic job tonight, keeping everything. What I'm missing, you're grabbing. So that's the way we got to work here. Tyler Chalk.
Hey, it's teamwork.
Yeah, it's teamwork. It is. Tyler Chalk started 11th, running back here in 7th place. Garrett Maines, who we have seen up front, led 6 laps, started 4th, currently in 6th. And Kevin O'Brien, who we just got done talking to earlier, he said we will see him back up front. He has pushed his way back up. He is currently running 8th, who he has started 17th. He has led 2 laps. Robert Dudley started 16th. He is currently in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 right now is Nate Seifkier, who has not led any laps tonight, but he's still fighting his way up there, or at least trying to. He's got company all around him, though. Robert Dudley is now in 10th. He started 16th, so that switched really quick. And it keeps switching. They just keep going back and forth as soon as I say something. So, back up front, though, Michael Jeans still leading 53 laps led. Scott Brinson has led 24. Brad Truex currently in 3rd, hasn't led any laps today, but still a long race ahead of him. 55 laps to go as they hit the triple-digit mark of lap 100. Garrett Maines has led 6 laps, and Gary Bauer, who's currently in 5th, has led 10. So, they're getting some green flag runs in. Probably not what they wanted. Probably some more green flag runs in, but a rough start to the race tonight here at Phoenix.
We did have a bit of a rough start, but now that these guys have got a little bit of knowledge of how the race is going to be ran, they have figured out to, maybe to lift a little bit, and we're starting to log some long green flag runs.
Yes, they are. And, back in the field a little ways more, people who are still on the track, Matt Burkhart, who is currently 1 lap down, he's still pushing and pulling. He's hoping for that caution because he wants his lap back. Ty Stanley, currently 2 laps down. He's wanting a couple cautions himself to maybe get back on that lead lap. He is currently running in 15th. And Gabe Allen, who is 6 laps down, probably just wanting to, get a finish here, just to get out there and pull some laps. He looks like he's having some blinking issues, so I won't stay on him much longer. But he is currently running in 16th, and he started 22nd. So, still a pretty good size, 16-car field. Still a pretty good size field out there for it being Phoenix.
Yeah, we still got lots of cars on track. We have a total of 13 on the lead lap, and as we are getting into the final stages of this race, having 13 cars on the lead lap, this is still anyone's race to win.
Yes, it is. I am not sure exactly what the fuel load was tonight. I do not know what the percentage was. 75%. So they could probably go roughly about 30, give or take, 30 laps or so.
I have no idea what the fuel window would be. I just know that the fuel limit was 75%. So
75%. So you guys out there in chat, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream tonight. Sorry about the camera angles, earlier issues. I'm still learning. I hate repeating myself, but I know there are a lot of people out there that love different camera angles. And I can promise you one thing: we will get that straightened out, and I will learn how to work them and load them the correct way. And we're gonna try to get some new camera angles for Phoenix. Hopefully, I'm not really familiar on how to make them, but we've got different camera angles for different things, and hopefully we can get a crank it up cam for Phoenix. I'd really like to have that. That'd be great. But maybe we'll work on that later. But this has been a good solid run yet again for these guys. They're right now they're putting them down left and right. So hopefully they can run this race clean, green flag all the way, and we'll see what happens.
Speaking of seeing what happens, Kevin O'Brien, who we interviewed earlier, is looking to be the spoiler on Michael Jeans. Kevin O'Brien currently is our biggest mover, started 17th, sitting in 6th. He might spoil Michael Jeans and or Scott Brinson's max points day.
Yes, he may do that. He's moving on up. He started back 17th, like you said, and as these guys, they keep battling. They could probably feel a little tire wear coming along, and of course the number 7 coming to the back end of Kevin O'Brien of Tyler Chalk. Tyler, not sure exactly what he wants to do, but now he's going to look onto the inside, and he will not be able to make that pass just yet. But, Kevin O'Brien, he's looking to spoil somebody's day. He's wanting to get some either the win or the biggest mover. Yeah, I mean, he's ready to rock and roll. Of course, in front of him, Gary Bauer, who started on the pole tonight, currently running in 5th spot. They are winding them down here at Phoenix. Gary, he's wanting to get up there. He's only led 10 laps, started on the pole, but he did manage to get that elusive bonus point out of the way quickly and has stayed out of trouble for the most part. So we'll see if Gary can maybe get back up there and wrestle some more with these guys.
Yeah, Gary has been all over the field tonight. He's been our leader. He's dropped back, and now he's back in the middle. So, that guy, I'd be watching him. He might just be trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah, we got a spinner.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Oh, who was that?
Robert Dudley in the 49.
Robert Dudley. Yeah, I just seen that as it came across my screen. All right, folks, we're going to go back and take a look and see what happened to Robert Dudley real quick. It looks like he just took a spin, and we'll zoom in on him real quick as he's coming around. All right, well, he's coming back on the front stretch here. And looks like maybe he's having some wheel issues. I don't know, but the 12 gets around him, the 89 gets around him, and he just loses it. Oh, man. Yeah, he just loses it in front of traffic. I don't know if maybe he had some wheel issues or what, but he just lost it.
Yeah, just got a little sideways there. It could have been a little tire wear. Could have been any number of things. This DW12 car is very sensitive to all kinds of stuff. Aero push, tire wear, too much throttle, too much steering wheel input. Any of those things will send you spinning. And you know what? He spun in turn 1, which is definitely a tricky spot to get through.
Yes, it is, as Michael Jeans brings most of them, if not all of them, down off onto pit road. Paul Crumry, who has decided to stay out. Of course, the gentleman behind him, the gentleman behind him of the lap down cars will actually get the wave by. They will get one of them will get their lap back, and the other one will get one of their laps back. So, Mr. Paul Crumry, who decided to stay out, is hoping to lead a lap, maybe, if he can beat everybody around to the start-finish line before they get back to him. We interviewed him earlier, and he was involved in that quick incident that happened. Had nowhere to go, but he's back up front. And Paul's not going to pit, so he's going to go around one more time and grab that. Make sure he grabs that bonus point.
While you were talking about that, one thing I saw happen: Kerry Cleaver had a connection issue, and his throughput had some issues.
Oh man,
He's
yeah.
gotta go feed his horses or something.
Yeah, receive throughput, man. That's iRacing for you. I hate that. You know, it happens to a lot of people out here on iRacing. I have been the victim of that throughput many times before, even with a very good internet connection. It all depends on what happens on their end of the server, whether the connection is good or bad. You know, you may have a fast internet connection, but is it getting to iRacing itself? You know, that's the thing with that throughput thing, and unfortunately, you know, it does happen. Let's hope that he can get back in here real quick. It doesn't look like he is going to try, but you know, the 7-Up machine of Paul Crumry currently first, has led 1 lap. He will be coming to lead 2 right here, but he's got some fast cars behind him. Michael Jeans, Garrett Maines, Brad Truex, and Gary Bauer. During that pit stop, though, it has put Scott Brinson all the way back into the 12th position. So Scott's going to have to fight to get back up there. So, you know, they're going to get going here again. So, KR, man, get them going.
Man, I'll tell you what, I love these restarts. I love the craftiness of each individual driver. And we're about to see what Paul Crumry, if he can pull the wool over the eyes of Michael Jeans and Garrett Maines here. See if he's got anything up his sleeves. Maybe he can pull away like, I believe it was Michael Jeans, who at one point had a 1.5 second lead over everyone, and it started with a great restart. So maybe Paul Crumry can do the same thing here. Pace car is getting ready to pull in. There it goes. It's all Paul Crumry as he gets on the lap now. But unfortunately, Michael Jeans and Garrett Maines said, "No, sir, you are not pulling away from us."
Yeah,
down to 1 and 2 they go.
Yeah, and as soon as they say that, of course, Garrett Maines takes it to the inside, leaves Michael Jeans behind him. You know, these guys behind Paul has pitted. I'm not showing that Paul pitted, which he may, but I don't believe he did. And look at Garrett Maines go to the inside. Boy, he's wanting to get that position back from Paul.
Yeah, he's working on it real hard here. Is now Michael Jeans to the inside of Paul Crumry. Maybe not taking tires was the best deal for Paul, as he's going to lose another spot, put him into 4th, get him slotted back maybe even further as cars are starting to freight train him now.
Yes, that's right. You know, as we go to a wider view of this track, as they get kind of lined out here, you know, Kevin O'Brien is in a mid-pack between Brad Truex, Gary Bauer, and Nate Seifker, and even Paul Crumry, who got shuffled back from first. Tyler Chalk, who is also back here with these guys, and Scott Brinson, who is, oh, buddy, somebody is into the
Caution somewhere, caution.
Man, oh man, I can't tell who it is.
That looked like Gary Bauer.
And Gabe Allen as well in trouble there.
Let's go back and look at Gary Bauer and see what happened to Gary. Gary Bauer in the number 27 is on the outside of the number 2 machine. And, oh, they touched, which sent him into the wall. And a nice job dodging it by a lot of these guys. And, oh, man. Yeah, Gabe Allen had nowhere to go. Seen the car in front of him. Seen Robert Dudley in front of him. Or Gary Bauer in front of him, and had nowhere to go and just slammed right into him. So, heavy damage on these guys. Again, don't really know how many of them have resets, but hopefully they do have some left. But man, it's gonna be tough. Gary Bauer, who started first, oh man, that's a tough break for Gary. But I do believe he may have a reset left.
He just might, and I'm watching Gabe Allen. Gabe is still going around pacing. His front wing is all crumpled, so if he can get into pits here and get that fixed, that'd be a great benefit to him. But since he hasn't pitted yet, I'm a little concerned that maybe he doesn't have a reset.
And that might be a possibility. Of course, you don't, you know, if you've already used your reset, You know, you got to set on pit road and get it fixed. But you know, let's see if we can get another interview in real quick before they.
While you're looking for that interview, a little bit of house cleaning to do here. Kerry Cleaver did reconnect. We mentioned that the throughput dropped out, but he has reconnected, or she.
All right, let's see if we can get. There he is, Ronnie Osmer. I'm gonna interview old Ronnie Osmer.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you take that.
All right.
User was moved
Ronnie
to your
Osmer,
channel.
this is Joshua in the booth, man. You got a copy? Ronnie?
Well, I guess I could pretend to be Ronnie if you'd like.
I don't guess Ronnie wants to
User was moved out of your
talk,
channel.
so I guess we will maybe catch the next one. Of course, there are some people that don't like to be interviewed because they think it might be the MaxSpeedTV curse. When they get interviewed, they end up wrecking. So that might be one of those ordeals. But I hope everybody's enjoying the stream tonight. If you are enjoying it, please hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button. We do appreciate all the viewers from all around the world, because that's where they watch from. So, you know, it's fun to watch these guys race. I love it. Love it a lot. All right, well, Michael Jean's going to start on the inside. Garrett Means on the outside of him. 1 and 2. Brad Truex and Kevin O'Brien in third and fourth. And Nate Siefker, who has found his way up front from a 12th, who has been back and forth pretty much all night. He is going to be running on the outside behind the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. So as the pace car dives in, Michael Jean's holding them back. And he was on the gas pedal and gets another good jump on that restart. Not as good as what it was on the last one, but he did manage to pull about 2 to 3/10 of a second ahead of Garrett Maines. But these guys ain't going far. They're right there with Michael Jean's.
Yeah, Garrett Maines is now starting to suck back in on the draft here, looking to make a move as they cross the start-finish line.
You know, these guys... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. Scott Brinson sitting back in 7th, looking to make a move underneath Kevin O'Brien. Scott Brinson, one of our early leaders and a front runner for the start, now sitting in the middle of the pack. We currently have 15 cars on track, and a few of them, only 13 are on the lead lap.
Caution somewhere, caution.
Oh, and we got another caution.
Kerry Cleaver seems to have just spun out in the 69 machine.
All right, well, we'll go back and take a look and see what happened to Kerry. You know, if you don't pit at the right time, you know, you kind of wear your tires down. That might have been what happened to Kerry, but I believe Kerry might have pitted. I can't say for sure, but I believe he might have. So as Kerry comes around back up onto the front stretch, so to say, here at Phoenix, in the number 69 machine, the psychedelic machine is what I call it. You know, he's coming around. Oh, I see what happened. The number 48 got loose. Or is that the number 48 of Mark McFadden gets loose, and the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver had nowhere to go, and that sent them both spinning. Of course, Kerry going to have some heavy front-end damage on that car.
You know, it looked like Mark McFadden had a little bit of contact to his inside on his left rear, and that's what sent him sideways.
Yeah, it did look like that too. I did see that, but you know, just the slightest contact, and it could have been net coating. You know, the way it happens is it's so quick. You really don't know what it is until you actually go down and actually observe the in-depth reality of what happened.
You know, Mark McFadden seems to be taking an extended pit stop, so I would imagine that he has used his quick repair just now as it set down. Looks like they replaced the rear wing for him.
Yep, and speaking of Mr. Mark McFadden, I will go ahead and tell y'all that Mark McFadden only has 3 races left, actually 2 after tonight, with Top Fuel Racing. This is going to be his last season with Top Fuel, so, we're going to miss you, Mark. Like I was telling you earlier, man, it's going to be odd not seeing you here at Top Fuel. I do hope you, extend your range of racing with other people or other, whatever the case may be for you. Good luck, and I'm sure we'll see you hopefully here back racing with Top Fuel some, maybe on an off season or off week or whatever. But he has decided to take his racing elsewhere. So good luck, Mark, and he actually told me to go over that, so I was supposed to go over it last week or the week before last, and I didn't because it was my first time doing it. So I will go over that tonight, and that way everybody knows, and it is what it is. He's just made the decision to go elsewhere. So, but they should be getting the one to go here. I would say they're going to get the one to go. Michael Jeans, Garrett Maines, Brad Truex, Tyler Chalk, and Nate Seifker. That is your top 5. And yes, it will be 2. It will be 1 to go this time by pace. The lights are off on the pace car. So, KR coming down to 22 laps to go. They are on lap 22. It'll be 21 to go on the restart. Why don't you get them going, man?
Man, I'll tell you what, the best man at the restarts all night is going to apply his craft one more time. That's Michael Jeans. This guy has been schooling everyone on how to get a clean restart and get out before everyone else can. So we're going to see him work his magic one more time. Michael Jeans on the pole, on his outside, Garrett Maines. These guys getting ready. Garrett's not going to let him get too far ahead. In fact, I'd be watching for Garrett to try and trick him in some way if he can, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Ready, green.
Green flag is out. Michael Jeans clears Garrett Maines quite easily, picks his line going into 1, and Garrett Maines tucks in as they go through 1 and 2, now down into the dogleg.
Yep, and Garrett Maines is not letting Michael Jeans get out in front of him too far as, at 1/10 of a second. Garrett Maines is going to try to go on the outside of Michael Jeans.
Caution somewhere,
Caution. Comes out one more time. Looks like maybe Robert Dudley and Ty Stanley in trouble here on the straightaway.
Yep, I caught that as soon as it happened, so we'll go back and take a look at Robert Dudley and Ty Stanley and see what happened to these guys. This is just right after the restart. Of course, as we see, they go 3 wide right here. And then these guys are still racing. Robert Dudley is right here in the number 49 machine. And he blinks. And that puts the number 48 right up on him of Mark McFadden. So, did the wreck? I believe the wreck happened in front of them. Yes, did it?
I've ran out of ink. How many yellows has this made for tonight?
Let's see here. We will. Ty Stanley hits the wall, and Robert Dudley slams into him, having nowhere to go. So that's exactly what sent Ty Stanley doing a helicopter in the air and then flipping. So that's exactly what happened on that wreck right there, ladies and gentlemen. So cautions tonight, I have 10. That would actually be 11 because I had to reset IRTBO. But they have had 11 cautions here tonight so far. Man, it's been rough. It
has been rough, and if you notice, everyone under yellow now is starting to burn fuel off like crazy. Everyone's riding the clutch and burning off all that excess fuel. So that 75% fuel fill, a lot of people are burning it off now.
Yes, they are. You know, you hear them. You hear them, you know, clutching it and giving it gas to burn as much fuel off as you possibly can. But, you know, you don't really want to spin those tires either because it'll heat them up. You know, you really want to get as much of a great start as you possibly can, you know, with 17 to go. As we see it coming to 17 to go, it'll be 16 to go as they come back around. And the lights did not go off on the pace car. What in the world was that? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. That was not me. So you may see, yeah, I do not know what that was. That was a little freaky. Something went across my screen like the scenes was changing, and I did not change the scene. So
I think it was the iRacing video screen that you happened to see.
I might have been, I don't know, but that was a little scary. So it was weird, but that was not me. But anyways, Michael Jeans will be starting first yet again on the inside. Garrett Maines on the outside. Brad Truex will be starting third. Nate Seifter fourth, and Tyler Chalk will be starting fifth. That is your top five. Kevin O'Brien will be starting again back in sixth place. Scott Brinson, who is still trying to push his way back up front, will be starting seventh. Matt Burkhart in eighth, Paul Crumron ninth, and Gary Bauer, who started on the pole. He really wants to get back up there and win this race. Is there enough laps for him to do it? I guess we shall see. Kerry Cleaver, Gabe Allen, Dustin Ping, Chris Walker, they have all decided to take their cars into the haulers and get ready for Interlagos next week. So man, tough break for a lot of these guys, and I don't think cautions are over yet.
What? You know what? I don't either. Unfortunately, as we get into these final stages, I think a couple more people are going to do a little bit less of the give and a lot more of the take.
Exactly. You know, as they come to 15 to go, when they get this green flag restart, pace car dives in. Michael
Ready, green.
wastes no time. He's on the gas, gets a 0.3 of a second jump out on Garrett Maines, but that does not mean anything. Garrett Maines is hammering it down to get caught back up. Brad Truex.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Looks like Tyler Chalk got sideways and spun coming out of turn 2.
All right, we'll go back and take a look at Tyler Chalk, see what happened to Tyler.
While you're doing that, I have to step out for 1 second.
That is fine. I can handle this. So this will be on the restart right here, folks. This will be right after the restart actually happened. Tyler Chalk will be is the number 7 on the inside. Currently of the number. Let's see here. He is on the inside. Oh, he just loses it. Scott Brinson does a fantastic job of dodging him. Tyler Chalk will receive, it looks like, no damage from the wall. I believe he did get it stopped, if I am correcting correctly. I'll be able to talk in a minute, guys. Yes, no damage. He did get it slowed down, got it stopped. So, good thing for Tyler is he has no damage, but he has got them tires hot. So we will see exactly what happens to Tyler and what Tyler decides to do. Is he going to come in and get new tires, or is he going to stay out? But while they're pacing real quick, we're going to get, our current points leader and our leader for this evening, if he's even in here. And I'm not seeing him. Michael Jeans. Yep, there he is. We'll get Michael Jeans up here real quick and have a little chit-chatter with Michael real quick.
User was moved to your channel.
Michael Jeans, this is Joshua in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Michael. Well, man, it was a rough start for everybody tonight. You know, cautions, they started to come out, and they just kept coming. tough break for a lot of the guys that have already taken their cars, to the hauler. But what's the racing been out there for you? You've been out front for, now most of the laps so far, 91 laps led. But what's it been like?
It's pretty sweet. The track is real grippy. The setup is really good. It doesn't have a lot of that aero push that you get following cars, but it has some in it. So it's, after you get a few laps on the tires, it's harder to pass, but it's easy to block. So just trying to stay up here and make sure everybody's got dirty air going through the corners.
Yeah, that's about the way to do it, Michael. I mean, we've seen you up front, like I said, for now most of the race. Of course, you've got some fast guys behind you. Garrett Maines, Brad Truex, Nate Seifker, Kevin O'Brien, and, including your arch rival now, Scott Brinson, who has poked himself back up into the 6th spot. These guys are all hungry, so do you have what it takes to keep them behind you?
I'm going to say yes. I believe I do, but Garrett is fast and aggressive, but he's in team speak with me, so I've been trying to get him in, trying to keep him stirred up, getting his head, just having fun with it.
Yeah,
it's been a really good race.
Yes.
Too many cautions, but it's been a really fun race.
Well, I see y'all are getting doubled up, Michael. Good luck. Tell everybody down there good luck as y'all get ready to go back green. Coming to 10 to go. Keep it clean for the last 10 laps. How about that?
That's the plan, man. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
All right. Good luck, Michael. All right. Well, that was Michael Jeans, our points leader and our leader right now. But, man, these guys are coming around. Going to take it at 10 to go. With 10 laps to go at the line. Pace car dives in. Michael Jeans on the inside. Garrett
Green,
on the outside. Like he said, Garrett is in the same chat with him. And, they may try to work together to break the gap between, the, second and third. But, they've really got to work together to do that.
You know what? They sure do, and it looks like so far that they are. But Kevin O'Brien sitting in 4th, but the surprise person to me is Nate Seifker. We saw him crashing into pit lane, and here he is sitting in the top 5 in the closing stages of this race.
Yes, he is. As he did that little somersault into pit lane and then onto where the actual pit crew would be. That was a flip for the ages as they go 3 wide behind him, and we have a
Caution somewhere, caution.
That was a big wreck.
That was a big wreck, and the guy that I picked for having the best finish tonight, Kevin O'Brien, got a little piece of it, but it looks like he's going to keep going. But Gary Bauer and Scott Brinson appear to have gotten the worst of it.
Yes, I am going to be riding along. I'm going to be riding along with Scott during this little incident here as they make their way around the corner. Of course, you'll see them go 3 wide here in just a second. Scott Brinson in the CM Punk machine, number 14, the number 27 high. It looks like the number 27 moves up just a hair, the number 27 being of Gary Bauer, bounces off of Kevin O'Brien and into Scott Brinson. Scott then pile drives pretty much into Kevin O'Brien. So Kevin O'Brien, though, does keep his car going, but Scott Brinson and Gary Bauer not so lucky in that incident.
No, those two suffered heavy damage, and I am anxious to see what Kevin O'Brien's plan of attack is here. Both Gary Bauer and Scott Brinson, heavy damage, so both of those guys would have to pit to get theirs fixed. But Kevin O'Brien's still sitting in his 5th position, has yet to make a pit stop, so he might be trying to figure out if he can ride this thing out for the final 5 laps.
Yeah, I am looking on the rear chase view into Scott Brinson's machine, and he has no nose whatsoever. Heavy damage on Scott Brinson's car. Gary Bauer is on pit road getting his machine fixed, but I do not know if he has a reset. He is now 1 lap down. Ty Stanley also apparently involved in an incident. He is on pit road. I don't believe he will end up making it back out, but we never know. But back up front, though, Michael Jeans, Garrett Maines, Brad Truex, Nate Stiefker, and Kevin O'Brien. You know, Kevin O'Brien was involved in that little incident. And, you know, he may have some damage, it looks like, but it doesn't look like he's got much. I'm not seeing much, if any. He might have got lucky and he got that ghost glitch, is what I like to call it.
He does have some damage to one of his side pods, especially on the left side. You can see it if you get in close enough. That is definitely damaged. But overall, man, I think he came out pretty lucky in that situation.
Yes, he did. Of course, he started 17th way back in the pack. And he is currently, yep, I can now see it on the little side pod damage on the left side of the 184 machine of Kevin O'Brien. So, you know, it coming down to the nitty gritty, you know, you see these guys moving, changing positions, trying their best to get the best run on the car in front of them. Of course, there will be a 3-lap shootout, it looks like, as the pace car, the lights on the pace car are off. The top really didn't change much, but the top 4 is still the same. Michael Jeans, Garrett Maines, Brad Truex, Nate Stiefker, and of course finding his way now into the 5th spot, Kevin O'Brien. Paul Crumry sneaking his way back up into the top 10. You're currently in 6th, Matt Burkhart in 7th, Tyler Chalk in 8th, Ronnie Osborne in 9th, and Robert Dudley will be rounding out your top 10.
You know, Matt Burkhart sitting there in 7th place, he was somebody that hit the wall on his own accord, managed to make a pit stop and get back out on the lead lap, and here he is in a fight to finish in the top 10.
Yes, I mean, it's a hard... This has been a long race with these cautions that's come out. You know, like I said before, both pace cars in,
Ready,
they're
green, green.
back going green. Wow, that was quick.
That was quick, but not nearly as quick as Nate Stiefker on the outside. Gonna power move into 3rd spot there, and I don't think he's done yet. He's got a great run, and if Garrett Maines and Michael Jeans can't figure out what to do, I think Nate Stiefker will tell him he's gonna pass him.
Yes, he is. Of course, Garrett Maines is on the outside now, Michael Jeans, but, you know, he did back off a little bit. Nate Stiefker is now going to try to fight back and try to get up with Garrett Maines and Michael Jeans, but behind him, Brad Truex and, of course, Kevin O'Brien, who has fought his way from 17th into the top 5. So I would say probably he is the biggest mover. And
White flag, nice and
there
smooth.
is the white flag for Michael Jeans right there. Can he bring it home to win here at Phoenix? We will see. Garrett Maines pulling the outside.
Check
Nate
the flag.
Stiefker going to the inside as we cross the line. The winner here at Phoenix, Michael Jeans, wins at Phoenix.
Michael Jeans running a
Check
super
the flag.
defensive last 2 to 3 laps there, not allowing Garrett Maines to get underneath him. Garrett Maines having to go to the high side to make something work, and that allowed Nate Stiefker to get underneath him.
Yes, it was. It was you know, they Garrett Maines and Nate Stiefker fighting for the position for 2nd and 3rd. Garrett Maines, it does look like will take 2nd, but not by much. Nate Stiefker will finish in 3rd. So as we let these guys get settled down, we will bring these guys up one by one. Nate Stiefker, who is in 3rd, so we will bring Nate Stiefker up real quick and get him interviewed.
User
Nate
was moved to your
Stiefker, this is
channel.
Joshua Medlock, man in the booth. How are we doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Well, Nate, you bring it home in 3rd place tonight. You really fought hard right there toward the end. to manage to get in a good position to finish. How was the racing overall down there? It was rough for you guys at the start.
I thought I finished second.
I have you scored as second.
You have him scored as second. I have him scored as third.
I have him scored as second, and I have gone to the replay. And, man, I'll tell you what, it's close, but I'm going to say he's second.
Wow. Well, I guess my machine here is messing up on me because it has you scored as third. Wow.
I'll take both. How about that? I get a combination of both.
Combination of both. Yeah, we'll take that. How about that?
User left your channel.
That's a result I'll take. But to answer your question, the race went 2 laps down at one point because I got in that crash. I mean, it was pretty easy racing on people. You know, there's multiple lines that you could run, so that was pretty cool to have, I guess. And you know, it was just fun racing overall. I mean, it was a little bit of caution fest towards the end there, and I hope you guys had a good, I guess, broadcast. But yeah, it was really fun to be there.
Well, I mean, I understand that, you know, coming into the night, you know, there was some a lot of things going on. You know, is it going to be open dog leg or is it going to be closed dog leg? You know, that was a thought in probably everybody's mind. Of course, when you get in here, you find out it's a closed dog leg. So, you know, you can't run that gap down there at the bottom. What was it like trying to squeeze in between everybody when y'all could run in the green flags? Of course, the cautions played a role in the biggest part.
I mean, it was single file, but when the passing came, I mean, it wasn't double file for long, so I mean that contributed to not having pack racing tonight. I'm sure if the setup was different, we would have had a pack racing and it would have been a caution fest. But the setup was good. I liked the setup all night, and it just felt really solid underneath me. I think everyone else will say that too. So overall, it's just a good setup. It was everyone raced, you know, clean and fair, and that's, you know, what we want to do here, and it was really fun.
Well, all right, Nate. Well, man, before we let you go, what do you think about going to a track that is a lot different than what most people race at, Interlagos, next week?
I've been pretty good on the road courses here this season, so I'm looking forward to it. You know, we don't have Chase here anymore, and also, you know, if Jake shows up, I think Jake will be, you know, a contender. But I think it'll be a good race. Probably less close as it was here tonight, and you know, it should be fun.
Well, all right, Nate. Well, congratulations on third or second. Of course, I've got you scored as third, so we'll just call it like it is, and we'll say third, second, and then we'll argue about that fact later. But is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to for your finish tonight?
Yeah, thank my girlfriend. Thanks Scott for putting on the league, of course, and thank you, Josh, for broadcasting the race tonight. Yeah, thank you, Rudy. Well, Rudy, I guess is what I'm used to saying, but thank you, Josh.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I mean, it's all good to see. You know, I'm doing this for Rudy. You know, I told him I'd step in and keep the thing alive and keep it going. So, you know, I'd like to give a shout out to Rudy for this opportunity to keep MSTV running like it is. So, congratulations on Nate for your third, your second place. I don't know.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think our TVO's messed up right now. So, but congratulations on your finish tonight, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Interlagos, man.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
You want to take second, KR?
You know what? I would love to talk to our second place finisher, none other than Garrett Maines, last week's winner, bringing it home here in third. Garrett, tell us a little bit about your race and the up and down battle that you went through.
Yeah, I mean, race full of mistakes and conflicts and everything else you could ask for in a short track race is just, it was interesting when we were having the battle with Gary. We kept having contact. I'm not really sure. I didn't go back on the replay and watch it, but I don't know what was going on between us, but I kept getting hooked, and I'm like, you're tearing the car to pieces, and it ended up getting me like a 20-second pit stop to fix the rear wing. That put me in a bad spot. I had to work my way all the way back through it just to make another mistake on the restart. I'm watching Michael. I've been having good restarts the whole race. I'm watching him. We go green, and Scott wasn't going when I hit the gas. Just mistake that I shouldn't have been making. Really a rookie mistake in that sense. But we battled through that. On the next pit stop, I just went ahead and used fast repair. Didn't want to. I just took the risk. I'm like, this isn't a money race. It's not a points race for me. It doesn't matter. So, why not take the risk? Michael's strategy there to stay out early in the race got him the lead. He was in the right place, right time at the end. Just had the opportunity to block. I mean, it's acceptable at that point. I would have done the exact same thing. So, cautions played out. He never used up the stuff. Just perfect scenario.
You mentioned, how he was blocking, and we saw the final 3 laps. Michael just definitely pulled it to the inside, and you, desperate to make a move, went to the outside, and that allowed Nate to get down underneath you. Did you know Nate was there, or was that just a gamble that you were willing to take?
Yeah, I'm not in the points. It's a gamble I'm willing to take. I was like, well, I opened up the door, but I mean, it was a far stretch that I'd even make something of it. I was just banking, well, maybe he'll get tight and I'll go right around the outside. I mean, it's a last-ditch effort. It doesn't matter to me. He did get second. It is what it is. I mean, third's third. It's not a points race for me. Pretty sure it is for him. So, I mean, that's good.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the podium finish. I got you scored as third there. Replay shows you in third. So, hope you are happy with that. I enjoyed watching you work your magic through the field there. Great race for you. Probably not the outcome you wanted, but man, definitely very entertaining.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. I mean, it was an awesome race between me, Michael, Scott. I mean, even racing with Gary was fun. It was just, kind of one of those things where you're like, we keep having contact, we're not going to finish this thing. But, I mean, all in all, it was a really clean race. We kept having the cautions there, but, I mean, the racing itself was, really clean. I didn't have anybody, chopping the nose, forcing you down to the bottom. It's just, really respectful.
Well, outside of your fellow drivers, is there anyone else you'd like to thank? Maybe say hi to Mom or Dad?
Yeah, I just got to thank the sponsors, Pearson Mazda, Enlight Medical, and SRI. I got to thank, Michael for, helping me out through that race. I got to thank Scott for putting it on. It's been fun.
All right, well, that's your third place finisher, Garrett Maines. Thank you for joining us up here in the booth, and congratulations on third.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Garrett.
Thank you, Josh.
User was moved
All
out of your
right,
channel.
well, now we go to the winner for tonight's race. Led 104 laps. All that mattered was the last one. Michael Jeans, do you have a copy?
I do. I am here.
All right, bud. Well, man, you are going to extend your lead even more on Scott Brinson. Of course, Scott having that incident there at the final laps, of coming down to the race, was involved in that. Tough break for Scott. Y'all fought throughout that whole race, whether it was under caution or those couple of good green flag runs that y'all had. What was just now the overall contention down there, fighting from the back to the front, to the back to the front, dodging every which way you could go, Michael?
Man, it was a lot of fun tonight. So that just playing strategy, like Garrett said. I stayed out when everybody else pitted on probably the third caution. Got me the track position, but I was one lap away from having to make a green flag pit stop. Excuse me. When we had another caution come out. I mean, I was under a half a gallon. I was fixed to come in, so the caution fell at the right time, and I was pretty much able to keep the lead for the rest of the race.
Yes, you was. That actually happened in your favor, to be honest. If it hadn't have come out, you probably wouldn't be sitting here as the winner here at Phoenix. Was there a way to save fuel at all?
I tried a couple of times when I was out front, and I got away from them a little bit. I was a second and a half or so, and I tried to save some. I was up into sixth gear, and I mean, every time you put it in sixth gear, it was just like they would gain 2/10 on me. in just one lap. So it was that's not working. So we got to try something else.
Well, it worked out for you in the end, Michael. So congratulations on your win tonight here at Phoenix. You've got Interlagos next week, a road course. There won't be cautions per se, local enforced only. What's it going to be like for you going into from an oval like this to or a tri-oval to a road course with no cautions?
Well, those road courses are tough just because you don't get the break. It's from green flag to the checkered flag. It's you got to be on it, and it's fun. It's a challenge. Everybody's usually sweating at the end of those things. If you're not trying hard enough. But they're a lot of fun. I worked really hard on the setup. I think we got a good setup for next week. It's going to be fun.
Well, all right, Michael Jean's going to be coming home with the win tonight here at Phoenix. Also the creator of next week's setup at Interlagos. You said that correctly?
I did.
All right. So Michael Jeans he has created next week's setup for Interlagos. So congratulations, Michael, on your win tonight. Is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to for your win?
Of course, my fiance over there for not killing me every time I'm on here, and Scott. I know Scott's had a really frustrating year, but it happens to everybody. Everybody gets in one of them slumps, I guess. It's really been. We had a couple of bad races. This one, I really don't know what all the cautions were about, but just everybody. Josh, y'all do a great job on these broadcasts. Rudy had to miss another week. But you flew the flag really good for him last week. I'm sure you did the same for him this week.
I appreciate that, Michael. I really do, and it means a lot to me that I can step in and do this for not only Rudy, but for for the leagues that he does broadcast for. So, but congratulations, Michael, and man, we'll see you next week at Interlagos.
10-4, guys. Appreciate it.
All righty, folks. Well, that'll wrap it up for the race tonight as we go down to the final results of the race tonight. Of course, I have a different thing than what KR does. I've got Michael Jeans, who has come home with the win tonight in first place. I've got Nate Seifker scored at second, and Garrett Main scored as third. I don't know exactly what happened there, but they were in the top three. So Brad Truex will finish fourth. Kevin O'Brien will finish in fifth place. Paul Cromwright in sixth. Tyler Chalk in seventh. Scott Brinson in eighth. Mark McFadden in ninth. And Ronnie Osmer will finish in 10th. KR? I don't know if KR's there.
Yeah, my results page crashed out, and I had to exit out of iRacing, so you're going to have to finish the rest of the way out.
Oh, man, I hate that. All right, well, finishing 11th will be Robert Dudley, finishing in 11th spot. Matt Burkhardt in 12th. Gary Bauer in 13th. Ty Stanley in 14th. Kerry Cleaver in 15th. Gabe Allen in 16th. Dustin Ping in 17th. Chris Walker in 18th. Jay Anderson in 19th. Carl Burke will finish in 20th. Mark Robertson in 21st. Michael D'Amico and Mark Reed did not start the race tonight. So congratulations again to Michael Jeans on winning tonight here at Phoenix Raceway. We will be back again next week for Interlagos. That will be live tomorrow night here on MaxSpeedTV for dirt racing. I hope to see everybody there. Everybody stay safe and have a good night.